Hi guys, this is Sadik from Droidwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Android ROM based on Android 15 onto Galaxy S20 FE. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone, and then let's get started. First off, get hold of the latest Android SDK platform tools from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done that in C-Drive, and these are the files of platform tools. Once you have done the extraction, you now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the Bluetooth on your phone. So let's enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone, then go to about phone, software information, tap on build number 7 times. This will enable developer mode. So go back, go to developer options and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. Then tap on OK and you might get one more prompt. So again tap on allow, and with this, that debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So copy the path of platform tools, then open a CMD window from the start menu. Then type in cd space, paste the path of platform tools, hit enter, and we are now inside the platform tools directory as you could see. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB fixes and make sure that you are getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, you will now have to unlock the Bluetooth on your phone. Do note that unlocking will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. Apart from that, the knobs will be tripped and hence you will not be able to use any Samsung secure features. Moreover, once the knobs get tripped, there's no going back. That is, you cannot keep the knobs in the original state. So if it's stripped, then it will remain in that state even if you relock the bootloader. So if that's all well and good, then let's get started. You may also refer to my video to unlock the bootloader or simply boot your phone to the download mode after enabling USB debugging and OEM unlocking. From the download mode, long press the volume up key to enter the device unlock mode. Then once again press the volume up key to unlock the bootloader. Once that is done, your phone will boot to the OS. So connect your phone to the Wi-Fi and then make sure that the OEM unlocking is enabled and grey out. As you could see in my case, this is extremely important. So just simply connect the phone to the Wi-Fi and then head over to the developer options to make sure that OEM unlocking is enabled and grey out. Once that is done, you have unlocked the bootloader. Now let's move ahead with the next step. So now you have to download the Odin tool to flash the recovery file. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. Let me show you. These are the files of the Odin tool. These 4 files, as you could see. Moving on, you will now have to boot the phone to the download mode. So let's get the job done as well. Before that, download the recovery file from here. And it will already be a recovery tar file. There is no need to do the tar. It will already be in a tar format. Let me show you. This is the recovery.tar file, so it's already in that format. So moving on now, let's boot our phone to the download mode. For that, there are quite a few ways, but the easiest approach is to simply use the ADB command, ADB reboot, download, and hit enter. Your phone will now reboot into the download mode. Apart from that, you may also use the hardware key combination as shown in this guide, the various key combination, but the best approach is to use the ADB command of ADB reboot download, and your phone will then boot to the download mode as you could see. Moving on, once that is done, you will now have to flash the recovery and the VB Meta patch file as well. So download the VB Meta patch file for your phone from here, and now you have to flash both the recovery and the patch file using the Odin tool. So first off, let's launch the Odin tool via its exe file. You will get a prompt on your PC. Click on OK. Now make sure that your phone is shown here added, and in the log port as well, the phone should be shown here in the COM section as well. If that's well and good, then go to the option tab and uncheck auto reboot. Now click on AP and load the recovery.tar file. Just give me a second. This is the file, and in the user data slot, load the VB Meta patch file, which is over here. Click on open, and now finally hit the start button. The files will now be flashed onto your phone. It will take just a few seconds, and as you could see, the files have been flashed. Now you have to press and hold the power and the volume down keys for around 7 to 8 seconds until the phone is about to undergo a restart. Then as soon as it about to go a restart, press and hold the power and the volume up keys. So I'll show you what I mean. First off, press and hold the power and the volume down keys and keep on holding both the keys for around 7 to 8 seconds till the phone is about to undergo a restart. And as soon as that happens, let go of the keys and now press and hold the power and the volume up keys, and now keep on holding both the keys for around 4 to 5 seconds, and now you may let go of the keys as well. And if you have done everything right, your phone should now reboot to the CR Droid recovery. So let's verify the same. But if you have not pressed the keys at the right time, your phone will boot to the OS or the stock recovery, in which case you will have to reflash the recovery using Odin. So let's see what happens in our case. And we are now inside the recovery mode. So your first course of action is to do a format data, select factory reset, format data, and the data wipe is now complete. Once that is done, you will now do an ADB sideload of the required zip file. So for that, transfer the ROM zip file onto your platform tools folder. This is the ROM zip file. Here's the platform tools. Transfer the file here, and for the ease of convenience, rename it to something shorter. So let's rename it to ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. So let's now go to the apply update, apply from ADB, and now open the CMD window. First off, type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting the sideload keyword. If that's all well and good, then type in ADB sideload rom.zip, hit enter. The sideloading will now start and will take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So let's wait for that to happen. So guys, the ROM has been flashed. As you could see over here, the flashing is successful. Now if you want to flash any other zip file, for example GApps, because the ROM is a vanilla build, it does not have any Google apps. So to flash GApps, you will first have to go to advanced and select reboot to recovery, and only after doing a reboot to recovery, you may do an ADB sideload of the required zip file. For example, in case of GApps, you may simply go to my guide and download the GApp packages and flash it as well. So please do an ADB sideload of the GApp package only after doing a reboot to the recovery. Or if you want to flash Magisk as well, then again first do a reboot to recovery and only then do an ADB sideload of the required Magisk file. And then once that is done, once you have flashed all the required files, you will once again have to do a factory reset. This is compulsory, so do so once again. And once the formatting is complete, you will now boot the phone to the OS. So just go back and select reboot system now, and your phone will now reboot to the OS. So just to repeat, first off you have to flash the recovery file along with the VB Meta patch file, and then boot the file to the recovery. Then do a format data, and then do an ADB sideload of the required ROM file. After that, you will have to do a reboot to recovery and flash the required zip file, for example Magisk or GApps. I've given the link for the GApps over here. Let me show you. This is the GApps link. You will download the required GApps variant from here, and this is the developers. So for example, if you go for Nick GApps, click on download now, and then go to release section. As you could see, we have got the CR boot animation, so the flashing has been done successful, and our phone should now boot to the ROM. So with that said, now go to Android 15 build, and from here choose a date, and you have all the variants. So the core is the smallest one, whereas the full is the largest one. You may get hold of the required GApp package from here, and then do an ADB sideload of the required zip file. Anyways, moving on. Now that we have got the ROM file, let's get started and set up the ROM. As of now, I'm skipping the initial setup process. If you want, you may link your Wi-Fi, then link the Google account, restore all the data, and get going. But for now, I'm skipping this just to speed up the process of setup. And with this, we are now inside the ROM. So let's get started. It's based on Android 15. Currently, I don't have any GApp because I haven't flashed the GApp package. And in camera, we have the Camera Go variant, and this is the QS tiles, the settings menu, the new revamped settings menu. If you talk about the volume panel, it's the older one, not a okay, so it's the new one as well. You have to long press on the back arrow, and it's the new revamped volume panel. You may add a new device over here or access the settings menu from here, change the ringtone and all such tweaks from here. You also have the predictive back gesture, which it's a new back gesture in Android 15, which will give you a sneak peek of what is behind the menu. Apart from that, you have the security and privacy section as well. So security and privacy, if you go there, you will get the private space from wherein you could hide the required apps of your choice. Over here, you will first have to set a screen lock, let's say pattern of 3x3 for the ease of convenience. Next, and once again confirm it. Once that is done, tap on done, and now you must set the required private space. So guys, let's now go to private space, and let me now show you. Just tap on setup, and you could either use the same lock or use a new lock screen pattern. For the sake of convenience, I'm using the same screen lock, and it should now be set up in a few seconds. So let's wait for that to happen. Done. And you could now tap on the lock icon from the app drawer and add all your apps over here, and likewise you could even hide the private space from the app drawer as well. Just enable the toggle and lock it once, and it will be now gone from the app drawer. As you could see, to use it, you will have to search it from here or go to the settings menu, and from the settings menu you may then re-enable it as per the convenience. So these were some of the Android 15 features. Let's now have a look at the CR settings. Over here you will get all the UI and UX tweaks, as you could see. So let's have a look at all of these features one at a time. So first off, we have the status bar icons. You may sure hide the icons which you want to show in the bar and hide them as well from here. Next up, we have the clock style, the clock date and time. Over here you may show the clock seconds, add a background chip as well, as you could see, then show the date as well, or rather the day, not the date. I don't know why they say as date. Then next up, you could show the 4G icon instead of the LTE icon. Then show the colored icons instead of the white icons. By default, it will show all the icons in white color, but you have the option to enable this toggle, and then the icons will be shown in the exact same way as shown in the app drawer. Then you could also show the pending notification count in the app icon as well. You also have the option to add a logo at the top left or top right. Let's say the BlackBerry, as you could see, it's added. Likewise, it's the SSROG logo which is added. For now, let's keep it turned off. In the battery style, you have the following option. Let's say the dotted circle, then battery percentage, let's say next to the icon on the right, and it's not shown. It's very important for me. Battery bars, so you may also enable this, and if your phone battery is full, it will show a green in color. If it's low battery, it will show red in color, and while the phone is being charging, it will show yellow in color. Let me show you. As soon as I start my phone to charge, it will change the color to yellow, as you could see over here. And for now, I like to keep the feature turned off. Then double tap to sleep on the status bar. It's working well and good. Double tap to wake is also working. Brightness control from the sliding, this is also working along the expected lines. Quick pull down, let's say from the right hand side, this is also working as expected. Then we have the QS styles. Over here you may add an header image, let's say enable it, and you have the following options, as you could see. Let's go with X-Men and let's choose Cyclops, and as you could see, the image has been added at the top. Then apart from that, you may choose any one of these images as per the requirement. Let me keep it enabled for now. Then the battery style in the QS styles, let's go with icon landscape right, and you could see the change is there. Likewise, let's keep the battery percent next to the icon is fine. Background opacity, you may let's keep it at 50%, and as you could see, it's not transparent, but the transparency is gone completely. I don't know why that is the case. This should have happened at 0%, but I have kept it at 50%, but still there is no, it is entire transparent. I don't know why that is the case. It might be some issue. So if I even keep it at 93%, you could see, okay, now it's somewhat less, so let's keep it at this percent only. Brightness slider at the top, it's quite well and good. QS tiles style, let's go with the circle tiles, and this is the same which you get in Android 11, I suppose. Then let me see if I could add more tiles or not. So columns and rows, okay, you could add more tiles over here as well, and now it looks much more better as compared to before. You may also add more rows if you want, but for now I only want the columns to be added. You may also add an animation when you use the tiles, for example auto rotate, and as you could see, it's now flipping on the x-axis. Then in the lock screen, we have a clock font style. There are quite a lot of fonts which you could choose from, as you could see over here. So let's choose any one of these. Okay, let's go with the plant letters, and they will only be shown after a system UI restart. As of now, it might not be shown, as you could see. So, but unfortunately, the CR2 does not have a system UI restart. We have to do a restart to the OS, which will take quite a lot of time. So I'll do that at the end. As of now, let's check out the rest of the features. You may sure hide the battery info in the lock screen as well. Enable the weather settings, but that will lead to additional battery drainage because you have to keep the GPS and internet enabled at all times. I don't want that to happen right now. Double tap to sleep on the lock screen to put the device to sleep. Let me see. This is working along the expected lines as well. Then power menu in the lock screen is enabled as well. In the buttons, power menu advanced restart, which is enabled, and you have the following option to restart to the system, recovery, fastboot D, and the download. We hardly use the fastboot D mode, so we should have got the system UI instead of the fastboot D, but since we don't have any control on this, we could only do a restart as and when required, and not the UI restart, which will take some time. Anyways, apart from that, the UI tweaks in the AOD ambient display, let's enable all of these. Always show when charging, and this is the AOD display. We are still getting the old clock, not the new one. You must double tap to wake up the device as well. And after that, screen off animation, CRT, I guess this will also not work. Yes, this also requires a system UI restart. Monitor setting theming engine, let's go with expressive. And the change has been implemented, although it might not be visible in the video, but we have done the change. As you could see, it's being changed. Then the navigation bar style. So if you're using 3-button navigation, you may select from any one of these styles as well. Then notification style, let's say Cyberpunk, and this is the Cyberpunk notification. As you could see, any else, let's say iOS. This looks not that much nice because they have rectangular shape, but in case of iOS, the edges are rounded and corners not sharp. So this is not exactly what I was looking for. Anyways, power menu style, let's go with iOS. I guess they will give us the outline. Yeah, it's outline shape. Okay, it's fine, not major cause of concern. The font style, there are quite a lot of font that you could choose from, but whatever font you apply will be there across the entire UI and UX of the OS. So keep this point in mind. As you could see, the entire font has been changed. In the icon pack, you could choose from all of these status bar icons, and the same will be applied at the top right of the icons. Signal icon style for the carrier data as well. And then you have the Wi-Fi icons that you could choose from. In the icon shape, you have the following icons which you could implement across the app drawer and the home screen. As you could see, the Pebble is now implemented across both the home screen and the app drawer. Then after that, you have the notifications, force stop button, the notification. Let me see if it's there or not. Since this is a system notification, Android system, you will not get this icon over here, but in third-party apps you will get a force stop icon just right here. You might tap on that and then force stop the app directly from there as well. Then in the sound, volume step screenshot, you may show the volume panel on the left and not on the right. As you could see, it's now changed. Apart from that, enable vibration as well. And then you have the option to enable Google Play Integrated Spoof. Using this, you will pass the basic and the device test. You will not pass the strong test. For passing the strong test, you may refer to my guide and ask for a keybox file. Apart from the keybox file, you also need this module. So try out this tweak, and then you will pass all the three tests via the basic, the device, and even the strong. But simply enabling this will only pass the basic and the device and not the strong test. Anyways, you also have the option to enable unlimited Google photo storage in original quality without no compression. Likewise, you would also enable the Netflix spoof, and then it will, I guess, you will be able to watch the content in full HD in Wideband L1 certification. In the sidebar, you may add a few apps of your choice and then swipe from here. Access the sidebar and open the app from here. Tap on this icon to access all the apps. You may pin it anywhere else you want, maximize it and close it from here. For now, I don't want to use it because it tends to conflict with the back gesture, so let's keep it turned off. 3-finger swipe, let's say take a screenshot. It's working well and good. About Android. So now let's have access at the wallpaper and style. You may change the themes from here. Let me show you, and you could also switch between the dark and light theme from here, and you also have the option to choose any other color from here as well. Let's stay with the default colors, which is this one, and let's go back. Then you have the option to change the clock as well. So this is the planned clock that is shown over here, but might not be shown in the lock screen because we have not done the system UI restart. And these are the other clock style which you get across all the AOSP ROMs. So let's keep this one only. You have the option to change the icon and the font, which you have done already. In the home screen, you could also enable the theme icons, and they are now implemented. App grid size, maximum is 6x10, which is way too much. Let's stick with the 5x5, which is fine with me. The font and icons are again same as before. So apart from that, let's have a look at the home settings icons. So if you're using a custom icon pack, you may enable the notification access for these icons pack from here. As you could see, it's now enabled. Apart from that, if you go to the home screen, you have the option to enable double tap to sleep. Then you may also, if you have flashed the G app, then you could have the option to turn off the Google app when you could access from by swiping on the right. Currently it's grey out in my case because I haven't flashed the G apps. Similarly, you could see over here that the Google search bar is also grey out because I don't have the G apps. In your case, it will be at the bottom of the home screen, but since I haven't flashed it, it's not there in my case, as you could see. So apart from that, if you go to the app drawer, okay, we have the option to enable theme icon in the app drawer as well, and you could change the background transparency. Let's keep it at 50%, and let's now have a look at both of these tweaks. So now you could see that even the lock clock is now enabled in the AOD, and then in the lock screen, this has now been enabled. We don't even have to do a restart. Just the restart of the launcher was sufficient. I'll show you how to do that as well, but as now you could see that the theme icon in the app drawer has been enabled, and you also get a transparency effect in the app drawer, which are quite great to see, and it's not there across many AOSP ROM, which is there in this ROM. And apart from that, in the recent you may enable the memory info as well, Google Lens as well. And so since we don't have a system UI restart, you could go to the miscellaneous option and do a restart of the launcher from here, and this will also do the same impact for most of the features. Likewise, you may also hide the app from here as well. Just tap on the eye icon, it will be hidden. Again, tap on it to it will be shown. And if I now talk about you could see in the recent app we have the RAM info at the bottom as well. So guys, this was all from this video on how you could enable and flash the CR Droid based on Android 15 onto your S20 FE. If you have any query with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section. And if you want to update the ROM, you may either download the ROM and flash the ROM via the ADB sideload from the CR Droid recovery, or you may simply get hold of the ROM zip file from here directly and install it from here only. This is quite an easy way out. So on that note, I round up the video. If you have any query, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.